Hi guys, Villainous Prince here, and today is a different kind of video because here in Manchester in the UK, our local Disney store has closed its doors for its final time. Now, back in May of this year, Disney Store announced that only the flagship stores, one in London and one in Dublin, would remain open. Every other Disney store would close. I thought that day would never come, and sadly it has. To me, it's not just Magic Kingdom and Disney World that is the happiest place on the earth, it's also Disney Store. So in this video, I'm going to just share a few of my memories that I've had and the reasons why I actually love Disney Store so much. So let's start at the very beginning. I actually went to Disney World when I was a teenager. I am not going to tell you when that was or tell you my age. Villainous Prince doesn't do that. But I went with the family and we had such an amazing time. We came back home to the UK with a wet and windy and cold weather. Went to our local Disney store in Liverpool, and that was myself, my sister and my mother. We went up to the second floor, and then suddenly Beauty and the Beast, A Tale as Old as Time came on, and my mother stood there and just wept. Yeah, she was crying buckets because that music took her back to when she was back in Disney World having such an amazing time. A cast member came up to us, asked us if we were okay, if we needed any assistance, and we made a sharp exit out because my mother was that embarrassed she was missing Disney World that much. And that's the only time I actually left Disney Store empty-handed. But I can't joke about that anymore because it's happened to me. Yes, I've had times where I've actually been to Disney World because I've been now about 15 or more times. And I've actually gone back to a Disney store here in the UK. I've walked in and I've cried over Lumiere singing Be Our Guest and I See the Light from Tangled. Yes, luckily enough, a cast member didn't see me crying, but my mates did. So they still take the mickey out of me. But what other shop or store gives you those kind of memories and those kind of emotions? I can't name any. Then there's always been the times that I've actually gone and seen the latest Disney movie at the cinema, enjoyed it that much that I've actually gone back to the Disney store on the way back to the car or my home, and then made an impulse buy because I've actually enjoyed the movie that much. Now, the last time I'd done that, due to the fact the crazy world we've just gone through, was with Moana, and I actually bought Hey Hey because I just loved that character so much.
It's okay.
So with all the stores closing and I see the latest Disney movie, I'm not going to go all the way down to London to buy an item for a movie I've just watched and loved. And I don't think it's going to be the same experience by actually going on the phone or your tablet, logging onto the website and actually ordering an item and waiting 5 days because I'm not paying for postage and packaging, and then getting the item, and then it's not the item you actually envisioned because you haven't seen it in person. You weren't on the high after leaving the cinema and I've got to buy a product. I think the memories of buying impulse buys like that have now gone. So it's not just all about buying products from Disney Store, it's also about the lifelong friends I've made along the way. Now, I started buying and collecting limited edition items back when the Villains Designer Collection was released. And to be guaranteed a limited edition doll in your hand on the day of release from a Disney store, you'd had to be there pretty early. So the plan was to get to the retail complex about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and throughout the many years, I have actually made some great friends. We have got the woman who gives the cast members a hard time by constantly asking them, what time you're opening? Have you got this? How much is that? Is this on sale? Have you got it in this size? Have you got any in the back? Can I exchange this? Can you keep this behind the till? But it all comes from a good place, and it's hysterical watching the cast members run around after her. Then we've got the girl who buys all the tats. Yes, you know who you are. Yes, she will buy the pencils, she will buy the rubbers. If it's tat, she will buy it, no matter how much. And we would just laugh and be in stitches laughing, in crying with laughter, because she's just like, oh, getting excited about this little pencil that you can buy anywhere else, but because it's got a little blue ball on the end saying it's Cinderella, she gets excited about it, and that's why we love her for it. Then we have the married couple who live out of town, and like I said, we do look after each other. There was one time when she couldn't get here for a Beauty and the Beast release. I actually went, picked her up, and because that's what friends do. Even though it was a 2-hour round trip, you do it because you are friends. And she does have a sexy husband, so there is a reason for that as well. Then we have the performer, who is now my favourite performer to watch on Canal Street, and sometimes can be a drinking buddy because we've had a few lock-ins together. And then we have the teachers, who were late to the Disney group, but they've made it. Once again, though, we bonded over a certain release, and we got chatting a few releases, and then they just came into the group. And once again, Disney Store have brought us all together, and I can't thank Disney Store enough for that. But there has been times when we've actually had camp outs, we've actually bought duvets and actually had a little like sleepover on the pavement just to get a limited edition doll. Now, there was a time we were all out there camping with our little camping chairs, having a little party. We have been accused of being homeless. We got offered soup and hats. Of course, we refused them because we're not homeless, we're just collectors. And there was also a time when basically someone came up to us and asked us what we were doing. And the reply that we gave them was, we are waiting for the release of the Frozen dolls. And the response we got was, aren't they going to melt before you get home? So you are camping outside, in the cold, in the rain, at night, waiting for a Disney Store to open just so you can get a limited edition doll. You have to make the fun. For example, we had a person coming up to us and go, what are you all queuing for? Our reply was, we're waiting for 50% off sale at Poundland. But because we're having so much fun, those 6, 7, or maybe sometimes 24 hours can go like that. And we look out for each other. For example, if we can't get to a Disney Store location for a day of release and someone else doesn't want it, they will go instead of you, so you don't miss out. But again, now with the internet, that's not going to happen, and you're not going to have those bonds, or you're not going to make those bonds with Disney fans and make a good circle of friends like I have. There's been times when we've actually even gone down to London Harrods and we've done a 36-hour camp out for the Beauty and the Beast Platinum set. And again, if we didn't have that circle of friends that Disney Store gave us, I don't think I would have a Beauty and the Beast Platinum set, because I wouldn't have gone down to London on my own. So once again, Disney Store, I thank you for actually bringing these friends into my life. So from going from lying on cheaply bought duvet sets and pillows from your local Primark a couple of stores down, to lying on blow-up banana beds, to actually getting drunk on Prosecco at Christmas, to actually seeing someone queuing up in a VR headset, these, along with many others that I can't name at the minute, are the good times that I've had queuing up to wait for a Disney Store to open. But there has been some bad times as well. Like I just said, I go down to London Harrods when that was open. Went down to get Sleeping Beauty Platinum set, and there was only like 5 or 6 available, or even 4, I think. And there was a queue about 20 plus. So when they actually opened up at 10 o'clock, there was a mass stampede to get 4 floors up to Disney to actually grab this doll. I was at the front. But unfortunately, the people at the back, or people in the middle, there was actually one person injured all over a doll. Now, luckily enough, they weren't badly injured, and Disney did help them by giving them some compensation. But once again, it's a kind of a memory you do have from buying that doll. Now, the latest one about along those lines is with Mickey Memories of the month of March. Now, our Disney store is situated next to Apple. No matter what day of the week it is or what time, there's always a queue for Apple, no matter what they're selling. So this day, it was a Sunday release for the month of March, Mickey's Memory. And the queue for Disney joined the queue for Apple. So it was a bit chaotic then. And when the gates opened for the opening of Disney Store, there was a mass stampede to actually get inside, grab the plush and check out. Sold out within seconds because there was only a certain amount to buy. And people were begging, people were actually willing to buy him off cash for like double or triple the amount. There was children crying, there was parents crying. It was bad to see, and that's when they actually introduced tickets for the next releases. But once again, it's about the memories, because with the Stitches this year being online only, there's no memories like that. I know that's a bad example, but it's also about the memories that you do have, because we still talk about that incident to this day. With Stitches, all you've done really is actually battled a few bots, and for some people just buying them off eBay, and that's not a very good memory compared to like what you could have at the store. And like the famous saying, you save the best to last. And who can that be? Well, of course, it's the cast members. The cast members that actually put their heart and soul into ensuring that you have a magical experience shopping at Disney Store. Over the past few years, I've actually got to know them, we've got to chat to them, and they have become friends of mine. I did actually pop in last night because that's the only time I can actually go in to say actually my goodbyes to them, because they are my friends and I do care what's going to happen to them in the future. And even so that they find out that they're losing their jobs, they're still ensuring that everybody, no matter what, if you're a friend of theirs or if you're a perfect stranger, that they are still giving their heart and soul. And to me, you don't get that kind of experience at anywhere else in the UK. Not that I've been in anyway, unless they just don't like me. But anyway, joking aside, these cast members are stars, and Disney's loss is someone else's gain. So there's too many to mention. You have all been fantastic. Thank you very much. But I'd like to wish Suzanne, Liesl, Palmyra, Barbara, Liz, Adele, Leanne, Lucy, Rob, Chris, and I'm sorry if I've missed anyone out that I've chatted to over the past numerous years. You have all been stars. You will be missed, and good luck for the future.